Hiya folks, little odds and sods day today, just doing a bit of tinkering, so come on, you can come along with me. Got these little odd jobs to finish off now and get sorted. One of them is going to be to give these a quick sandblast, the hinges on the Reliant Regal. Once a sandblast, I'm going to then put them in a vat of white vinegar. This is what I've actually got to do this, which is basically just distilled malt vinegar, white vinegar. That only cost about £3.50 for a gallon of it, 5 litres. So very happy with that. Got that yesterday, and I also went to get the other casters. That I needed 2 extra casters, as you know, for the little dolly I'm making for the Reliant Regal, so I can wheel it about. And in the UK here, we've got a shop called Screwfix. Little bit annoyed. We was going to the seaside yesterday, so the seaside's probably about 25 miles from where we live, so I looked online and found a local Screwfix in Skegness where I was, and looked through their online catalogue, as you know, on their website where they list all their products, and they got a thing called click and collect. So anyway, I found these casters on there which are ideal for what I needed them for. Bought them online, just needed 2 of them, that's all I needed. And I also brought a box of screws as well, which is just the general screws there. I needed some longer screws for that build, so I got them as well. Anyway, as I say, paid online, paid via PayPal, click and collect, no problems at all. So we drove to the seaside, and after we had something to eat there and we had a little walk around, popped into Screwfix. You have to take your invoice in there, your PayPal invoice, which I did have. I said, I'll just come to pick these up. Oh, he said, we've only got one of the items in. One's going to be in tomorrow. I said, well, I've just clicked and collect online. And as far as I know, that was it. You just click pay for it. It didn't say out of stock or anything. So he had a check. He said, oh, one of the items you chose was for next day. I said, well, where does it say that? He said, oh, that's in the small print. So basically, once you've paid for your items, you think, because it's in big green letters, pay now or whatever, and you automatically assume that the items are in stock. But they've got a thing called next day as well. So I said to him, well, the only reason I chose your store is because I was down here. And he said, well, can you give me a refund on that? So I got my money back, basically. And I said, well, I'm going to click through your in-house catalogue. They've got these big catalogues in the actual shop front, so to speak. And anyway, so I had to click through them and looking for another set of casters to buy there and then, because I wanted to do this yesterday, obviously. And I'm looking at the list of casters, and there's only 1 page of them in this catalogue. I said, on your website, you've got loads more. He said, oh yeah, we don't stock everything what's online. I said, so basically, the stuff you advertise online is not what you've actually got in store. So when I'm going on your store online, and I'll choose you as a local store, I may buy something on there, and you can only guarantee me next day delivery, which I didn't know at the time, as I say, because there's nothing that flashes up saying out of stock or not in stock or whatever. All it says next to it in very small writing is next day. You naturally believe that you've just got that time to pick it up. So click and collect doesn't necessarily mean pick it up the same day. And also, the catalogues in the actual shop there, just for other people in the UK here, is what they stock in the shop. That differs from what you look at on the website. So if you're ordering something which you think is going to be quicker to do it when you're sitting at home, click and collect online, be very, very careful, because you'll have to make sure that, 1, it is not a next day item, because they don't stock everything in the store, and 2, if you need an alternative item, if you look in the catalogue in the shop, it's not going to reflect the full quota of stuff they do. So if you're just passing by and you're looking in the shop, in the catalogue, that's not everything they do. You have to go online to stock everything they do. So there's a little bit of an anomaly there, and at the end of the day, it did pee me off, and I've had to choose another set of casters, I had to buy 4 casters basically, which aren't the same. These are a lot smaller, but these cost 4 times as much, because I couldn't buy the ones that I wanted individually. So I've had to end up with these things now, which are little nylon casters, as opposed to the other ones, which were rubber wheeled casters. So I'm going to take the 2 that I've put on yesterday and put all 4 of these on, just so that they match basically. They're still not all that dear, they're still only £10.99 or something, but it's just a blinking nuisance that I went, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have probably bought them yesterday, I would have ordered them and picked them up today, and we would have gone to the seaside today rather than yesterday. So just something to be aware of. What you see in the catalogue is only a fraction of what they order or what they stock, and what you see on the website is definitely not always in stock. And they put a little next day next to it, which means that you possibly got to pick it up the next day. Just something to check. So if in doubt, phone them up. Phone up the store which you're going to, find out if it's a stock item or find out whether it's a next day item. And that is Screwfix here in the UK. Very misleading, very confusing if you've never done it before. But I now know, as I said to the bloke, well, the only certain way to do it is to phone you up. And he agreed with me. So the catalogue in store is different than the online catalogue, just to be aware of that. Anyway, so that's that sorted out. So while I was there, I've also bought a few other little things. As I said, I've got these screws there. And it's just amazing the sort of stuff, when you do my sort of stuff, of working or tinkering about, for example, like that, there's other stuff which people take for granted which you haven't got and you really must have handy. For example, things like cutting discs. As I say, I've just bought a batch of 10 now. Your things like this you're stocking up with all the time, so that's them. Also things like raw plugs. I've got these brown raw plugs here which I use quite a lot as well around the house, more than anything. And things like packets of cheap throwaway disposable paintbrushes as well. These are ideal for cleaning stuff down, for example, or applying fiberglass resin and stuff like that. They're only cheap. They're only about, I don't know, I think they come from the pound shop, something like that. They're only probably a couple of quid, if that, maximum. So easily findable and useful stuff you can throw away. Stuff like, as I say, nuts and bolts, masking tape, stuff like that. Different types of paints and stuff, oils and greases and all that. That's all sort of stuff you do when you do tinkering about like this. So anyway, that's enough of that. I'm going to give these a quick sandblast now, just to get the outer paint off, because I don't think that the white vinegar is going to be able to eat through paint and stuff like that. And a lot of people said, oh yeah, one chap said that he's had great success with bathing these in paraffin, and that loosened them up quite enough. I could have done these with WD-40s, you know, worked them backwards and forwards until they're nice and loose. The reason why I'm choosing the white vinegar, one, I've not used it before and I've seen good results with it. And two, I could bathe these in paraffin or white spirit or light engine oil or diesel oil or something like that. But I want something which is going to attack the rust on the actual pin inside. And I'm hoping that the white vinegar is going to do that and dissolve the rust so that there's no rust there anymore. Any lubricant like WD-40 oil or diesel or something like that, or paraffin, that would only lubricate it and wouldn't actually get rid of the rust, so there's a good chance the rust could return. That's the reason why I'm using white vinegar. I've not used it before, so we're going to give it a go anyway. So I'm going to sandblast these quickly and put a bit of this stuff away. And I'm also going to change over the wheels on the dolly and finish that off as well. I might as well take you along for the ride for that, so I'll see you in a minute. Right, okay then, I've put the 4 hinges in a bucket. I haven't been able to get all of them on. My sandblaster kept cutting out, so probably needs a clean. So this is all white vinegar in here now, and as you can see, and I don't know whether you can actually see or not, but we've actually got some bubbling going on already. So this is without any other chemical in here. This is literally just the white vinegar, which I bought for about £3.50 for a gallon. And this hopefully will do the job of loosening them pins up. This is all it is. Cheap product. And as I say, £3.50 here in the UK, which isn't much at all. Now, I've had a few people in the comments say there's better ways or other ways to do this. I've actually tried other ways as well. I've done electrolysis as well with a baking soda solution. That works very, very well. It's just I've never tried this with just neat vinegar. I've seen people do it and it's got very good results. So I just wanted to give it a try for myself. So that's the reason why I'm doing this at the moment.
Nanny's making you a cup of tea.
Tell Nanny I'll come in for it, yeah? Good boy, see you in a minute. So that's the reason. I know there's plenty of ways of doing this, but I just wanted to see whether this can actually free up them pins anyway. So anyway, I'm going to leave this here now. Let's go and finish off that trolley and see if we can get that going. Right, well, there we go. I honestly don't think it needs any more strengthening than what it's actually got. It's really sturdy. As you can see, look. That's going to take my weight easy. So I don't think that that's going to need any more strengthening. And it wheels about nice and easy. I didn't bother changing them rear wheels, so I've just left them large rubber ones on there. Doesn't really matter, it's only for this purpose anyway. And hopefully my measurements are correct. We'll know that when we come to take it down here. I'm pretty sure they're going to be correct anyway, so I'm hoping the body should sit on there nicely now. And off the floor to the first level, I've got 18 inches, so that's as it would be from the floor. It's probably a little bit higher than standard because we wanted to get lower down to spray it, sort of thing. So that's what we've done there. So the lowest part is going to be of this wood is 18 inches there. And I'm happy with that. That's going to do the job. Yeah, I'm going to leave them in soak, them hinges now, and we'll come and look at them in a couple of days time as well. So this is now done, so hopefully the next time you see this, this will be now near the unit, and I've got a couple more little things to do, only putting up and tidying away stuff, so you ain't really got to see that. So I hope you enjoyed this little project which I've done there. It's going to do the job hopefully. You can see it's nice and strong, and I don't really need it. I thought it might be rocky, a bit rocky. Wait, shut up! I thought it might be a bit rocky and stuff, but it's not. It's really, really solid, so that's the benefit of using large wood anyway. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.